Hello, everybody. My name's Phil, and today I've realized that I'm not very good at Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I am a gold level 4, which is not like super great, but at least I'm not silver, so I'm not awful. And I saw a series by Purge Gamers, a Dota YouTuber and streamer, where he analyzes losses, but I haven't been playing very much Counter-Strike recently, and so I don't have many replays to go through. But I did find one replay that had a close game, and I wanted to go through it and try and point out the mistakes, point out the flaws, and point out the good plays in it. More so for my benefit, but I felt recording it and putting it up, someone might get enjoyment out of it, someone might learn a few things or two, and I think I have some good points to make. I have a little notepad, because I went through the replay earlier, and I have some rounds highlighted that I have some important points on. So we're going to just try this. I'm going to start the demo up. There are many maps in Counter-Strike. I'm not good at many maps in Counter-Strike. I mostly play Dust. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm play Dust probably way too much. And that was a really interesting, wow, that was an interesting fact. Okay, I've never seen that. Anyways, so, I'm gonna be playing Dust 2. We're going to be starting on the counter-terrorist side, as I remember. And, hopefully this goes well. Now what I'm gonna do before we start is I'm going to go to audio because it seems insanely loud. I'm not actually sure if it's insanely loud, and to be quite honest, I'm not going to worry about the sound like balance this video. I'm mostly just going to put it up, see how it goes. So we're just going to wait for warm-up to end here. Now, there's lots of things you have to keep in mind when you're playing Counter-Strike. Crosshair placement, your buying strategy, where you're going to play, how you're going to play, whether you're aggressive, whether you're passive, and all this stuff sort of comes out in the video. There's rounds with each and every point, and that's why I thought this was a really good replay. So I'm going to skip ahead to when the game actually starts. Alright, so this is the first pistol round. We are starting on the CT side, and right off the bat, there's something I want to point out that is very poor in this replay, and that is pistol round buying strategies. Honestly, I don't really know what is good on a CT side pistol. I always know what I buy on a T side pistol. You either go armor if you're going B, or for me, you buy nades when you're going A because you always rush cat even if your team says go long. But on CT side, I never really know what I should be buying, and normally on CT side, I'd like to purchase an op early. So my buying strategy for this round, this game's pistol round, was let's buy nothing. I haven't played on a highly ranked account, i.e. Gold Nova or higher, in quite a while. I've mostly been playing silvers with my friends who are really bad. And so I'm like, you know what, we're going to try playing with nothing, a USP. So we're going to see how it goes. Now, sidestepping back and forth between a corner is usually a pretty good way to play a pistol round, because you can go for one taps with the USP, because the USP is super overpowered. But unfortunately, I'm really bad. So I didn't get a single kill, and I missed horribly. But now, this was a horrible idea. I peeked straight into 4 different players, and that did not go well whatsoever. So that was a very poor idea. Normally, what I could have done is, if it lets me go to free camera, I could have, it doesn't let me go to free camera, whatever. I could have just sat behind that box and waited for them to push up onto Cat, or onto Plat, I mean, my bad. But I didn't think of that because I'm not very, good at the game. So instead, I decided to peek straight into 4 people long as they're pushing up, and that was not, probably not the best course of action. Now, we will just fast forward through, because this doesn't really matter. Oh. Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh, I skipped to the end of the game. Okay, let's not do that. Whoops. I think I broke the replay. Uh-oh. No, too far. What's this? I don't know what I've done. Oh, I'm back to warm up. Oh, Lord. Alright, so we lost the pistol round. And so we're saving. And so I bought absolutely nothing. And nothing really happened this round. I just wanted to use this round as a point to show that I fixed the replay after I broke it. So I will be back on the next round, which we will cover. Alright, so this is round 3. and we still are not buying. What we could have done is gone for a buy here, but our team, we decided that it would be better if we save our money and we just have a bank because we weren't confident in ourselves. So instead, we are full saving, and there's only one reason I'm showing this around, and that is because crosshair placement. As you can see, even as I'm just running down long, I'm staring at the feet of my enemy. Even though when I'm pushing up long from our spawn like that, it's impossible for them to be right next to me, it's always better to have your crosshair placed at their head rather than at their feet. Like right here, I'm staring at the ground. And someone could have easily popped out from mid into our mid and killed me when I was staring at their feet. But instead, I'm going to get one good headshot, and then I'm fairly certain that's pretty much all I do this round because I get destroyed. But crosshair placement is a thing that I have a problem with. It's something that I always screw up, like, a lot, especially during this replay. I mess it up horribly multiple times, and so I just wanted to show the first instance of it, and then as it comes up more and more, I will mention it more and more. Luckily, we won the round, though, so that's always good. Alright, so this is round 8, and in this round, we are going to be full buying, I'm assuming, because on my notes, I say that I buy an op, and then I'm awful. So, we're going to be buying an op, and before we move on to the actual point of this, which is I'm going to be covering cat with an op, and I'm fairly certain I do awfully. I want to point out my op is named Bailey's Gay, and it has lots of weed stickers. Just gonna put it out there. I'm kind of proud. So, what I want to talk about here is that when you're opping, it's better to play either against a very tight corner, or if you're peeking mid, you want to be behind some sort of cover. So you always need cover. Right here, I'm sort of exposed, but as I creep more to the left and left, I'm next to the wall, and then I can drop CT if I get overrun. So this is a decent op spot. Most players will play from Goose, so playing here, some players might not expect you to be here. Once you're up in higher levels, of course, people check every spot known to man, but lower down, people sometimes don't check the spot instantly. So, yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to speed up the round to bring people up here. And our team, we're all dying. So, as you can see, a lot of us are dying up at B, and so we don't really know what's going on. What we should do, since we've had a person picked near mid and B, and we've seen them tunnel, we probably should have had either this guy rotate, or this guy push through all the way over here and try and get their mid. But instead, we stack up one on cat, one on CT, and one on long, when there's 3 sitting in B site, which isn't good. Luckily, this guy's been able to hold off pretty well, and eventually they do end up rotating towards mid, which means if this guy would have gone through and pushed, then he could have gotten good info, good kills. But that's besides the point. Let us return back to the actual round itself. Now, one thing I would wish they would do is that this was easier to use, because I'm awful at it. I've never actually watched a replay, and so using this is a real pain in the dick. So as I was saying, they do end up pushing near catwalk, and I don't know why auto director's on. That's kind of annoying. There we go. So, as you can tell, they're starting to rotate. There's a smoke down, so that's why they're not pushing through, but they're starting to rotate to lower tons. And here comes the part of the round which I wanted to show. This spot isn't very common, and so we get a simple pick. And now this is what I really wanted to talk about. Right here, we're going to rewind that because I went through it way too quickly. What happened was that I got the first pick, and then I was trying to jump away. And then I decided mid-jump, you know what would be a good idea? Sitting at the exact same spot and hoping for another kill. So what happened, I was mid-jump on a box, and luckily the guy missed his headshot, otherwise I would have been very dead. And so I was able to get the extra kill. We're going to go back to that round, and we're going to speed back to that part, so I can show you that in slow-mo. Once again, sorry that this is very choppy and probably not very well put together production-wise, but oh, this is the wrong round also. That's how good I am at this. But this is more so for my benefit, and I'm just putting it up in case it helps somebody. But if it becomes popular, I'll put more editing and stuff into it. Also, this replay system kind of sucks, really bad, for people who don't know how to use it. So here we go. We're going to, once it gets closer, we're going to half speed it so I can show you. So They haven't rotated yet. They're still 4 of them up. There's only 3 left. And we've gotten 2 picks of B, so again, we should have probably moved towards B, especially since our guy just died mid. But luckily, they do end up rotating towards Cat, and here it comes. So we're going to half-speed it. Now, this is a good shot. It was a little late. My crosshair placement's bad. As I've been saying, my crosshair placement's going to be bad. But right here, mid-jump, and I realized there's a guy there. So luckily, I landed on the concrete box and was able to shoot before I was killed. But that was a situation that I put myself in that was not very good at all. So, just be wary. If you ever think someone's going to re-peek, then you need to either get to a new spot quickly or sit in the exact same spot. And a more actual, like, real note on that, bearing that round, if you make a decision to leave, you need to get out of there, okay? If you hesitate with your decision, you are going to die. Luckily, that guy was not very good at shooting. But if that was a better player, I would have fallen on the box, instantly been killed, because I couldn't shoot instantly. I could have shot one in midair, but that would not be accurate at all and be awful. So, you need to stick to your decisions once you make a decision. That's my note on that round. Alright, this is another round which I wanted to show. And this round I mostly wanted to show because it shows how, even when you think you're having a good game, you're still awful. Like, I thought I was having a fairly good game here. I'm going, let's see what I'm going. I'm going 8-6. It's not awful, it's not great, but we're doing alright, okay? So, during this round, I get super cocky, and I miss horribly. And that is something I want to show, that even if you think you know what you're doing, it's still very easy to screw up, and I screwed up there. This is what I'm talking about. 1 missed bullet, 2 missed bullets on a completely still guy. Luckily we win the round and I don't have to do anything, but that was completely awful, and it's something to be wary of. You need to be able to think every situation is a situation where you're going to die. Like right there, that guy, I was like, okay, he's never going to turn on me. There's no way I'm going to die to him. So let's take time, line up a shot. Hopefully he doesn't move. So I did that twice, and he moved like a millimeter. And of course, since I'm an idiot, I'm slowly moving towards his head because he's never going to turn on me. What I should have done is thought of that as a situation where I am most likely going to die if I miss this shot. So I need to put urgency, I need to put aim, I need to do everything at the correct time to be able to make that round, like, decent. To be able to get the kill, to be able to secure the round. And that is my point on that. You need to always think, if you miss a shot, you're going to die. There's never a moment when you should be like, oh, this is okay. I mean, if I miss this shot, whatever, it's not a big deal. My team can just win anyway. And then this is another round I wanted to show. So I pushed up Cat. Luckily they pushed up Cat, so I'm getting kills. I'm feeling good. I'm doing what I feel are decent nades, and I'm playing sort of pushed up, sort of aggressive, kind of a stupid spot, but it's working, so it's okay. Now underneath stairs is a very common catwalk spot, and this guy pushes and misses his bullets. And then right here, I reload. I saw the guy coming, and I reloaded anyway. With the reload time in animation in CSGO taking what seems like forever, you need to be very wary of when you actually reload. Because if you reload at the wrong time, like I did, then you're going to die. I had an extra 10 bullets in my gun to kill one extra person. It only takes 3 to 4 bullets, body shots, to kill an armored opponent with an M4, if you're not aiming at like their feet. So 10 bullets at close range when they're probably going to crouch and kill me and make it easier for a headshot was plenty to murder somebody. But instead, I decide, you know, it's a great idea. Let's just reload and sit in a corner and hope not to die. And that's something I have to work on too. There's lots of times when I'm watching a corner and I have like 18 out of 30 bullets in like an AK. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get the one dink. But what if I don't get the one dink? What if I need those extra 29 bullets or those extra 17 bullets? It's like, if I'm in a spray down, if I've wasted 17 bullets and haven't killed him, I'm going to die. It doesn't matter if I have an extra 13 in the clip or whatever. I am dead. So, you just have to realize that when you're shooting, as long as you have like 4 bullets, you can get a kill. And you don't want to be ever reloading in a situation where you could die. That's what lots of professional players, they always take like if they're pushing out and they need to reload, they will go around the entire corner again, and then re-peek, instead of like trying to reload in the middle of long. And it's something that's really important and something I need to work on. So that's that round. Alright, so this is the next round that I want to show. And I have a point on this round about composure. So this is a high stress game. You're in lots of situations where if you screw up, you're going to die. And if you die, you might lose. So I'm pushing up cat. I've been pushing up cat all game. It's not normally the best situation, but it's working. I'm missing all my nades. I'm testing at the new nade there. It was pretty good. And then I'm just sort of randomly shooting at the corner, hoping someone peeks me. And no one ever peeks me. So what I decided to do, I noticed that they smoke mid to B. So I'm like, okay, I'll go. Now, unfortunately, I got blinded. Otherwise, I would have just rushed through this. But instead, I'm taking my time because I'm blinded. And I'm slowly making my way through. Now, this should be a simple, like, 3-man spray down right here. Actually, 2, because 1 already went through window. But that guy is super lit. 2 bullets will kill him. That guy, I should have killed instantly. But instead, look at all this. Look at all these bullets that I miss. And this guy even turns around and tries to contest me with a nade out. So he should have been the easiest kill ever. Rubik's, who's lit down to 21, should have been the easiest kill ever. And instead, I get saved by my teammate. I don't even get the assist. Yes, I do actually, JK. I get the assist, and then I'm stuck here with 2 bullets in my M4, and I have to go reload and then push in. So what I do, I reload because that's obvious. I have 2 bullets. I can't kill anyone with that. And then I slowly push in. But this is the good part of the round. So from back of sight, there's a spot where you can watch door. That, of course, means the door can watch back of sight. This guy's unaware. So 1, 2, right to his head. So that guy's down. That was really good awareness. That's a good spot that not many players think about. They're like, oh, I'm covered from door. I have the giant 2 boxes in my way. Now our team spotted a guy car. So I go for car guy. And I miss 1 bullet and then I kill him. And that's a good spray down. And then our team, 3 of us against 1 guy in a corner, we ended up picking up the round. But that shows you need composure when you're trying to spray down people. You never need to think, oh god, I'm awful, oh god, okay, I'm awful, let's try and shoot this guy, and now I'm dead. You never need to think like that. You always need to think, okay, 3 bullets, 4 bullets, you're dead. 1, 2, 3. That's like a spray down. That's the easiest spray down. Even if you're not good with an AK or an M4, you should be able to control the spray on like 5 bullets. So, me missing that entire spray down mid was appalling. And luckily it didn't come back to bite us. But this is also a note on positioning. Doors is a normally heavily contested spot when you're taking a retake into B. But they had 1 guy watching tunnel who was most likely unaware that he could even be shot from door. So I killed that guy easily. We spotted a guy car. He was in a spot where he can get a pick, but he's trapped. And I'm going to go in game after the replay and show you guys a bunch of stuff. And that's one of the things I'm going to show you. From the spot he was playing car, he has to jump out of car. He can't just simply like walk around. He has to jump out of that spot. And that's a very poor position because you can't aim while you're jumping very well. And then the last guy was just 3v1 in the most obvious corner, so he died. But that's my note on that. Alright, so this is round 16. It's the pistol round of our T side. And I want to talk about, once again, buy strategies on a pistol round. Now, normally, when I play a pistol round, we normally go A, me and my group. We normally do an A split. We'd send 2 cat, 3 long. So we have a guy who smokes mid. We have me who buys a flash, a flash and a Molotov. And we go cat, the guy who smokes mid and me. Then the rest of our guys can buy whatever they want and they go long. So we have a Tech 9 and a smoke. And then me with a Glock, a flashbang, and a Molotov. And what we do is we push cat. We have the smoke, mid, and then we use my nades on catwalk. And what I want to show you here is catwalk nades. There are lots of very common catwalk nades. But some nades that I have found work very well. Unfortunately, we didn't have a smoke here. Nades that I found work very well that both Gert and I have done in, we actually went in for like 2 hours and just tested nades. There are some nades that work very well that we found that we've never actually seen in competitive play, but they work pretty well. So I'm going to end up showing you those after this round. But here's one of the simpler ones. You just flash off this. No one ever expects to be flashbanged like that. They always expect it to just like be thrown into sight. So that's a good flash. I don't actually shoot anyone this round, I don't think. But this round is mostly going to be used to show cat nades, just as an example. So later on, after the replay, when I go in, I'm going to show you guys a bunch of stuff, and catwalk nades will be one of those things. So that's my note on that round. Alright, so this is the next round I want to talk about, and in this series, in this video, rather, I'm going to have rounds where I do well, and I'm going to have rounds where I do awfully. You've noticed this with some of the other rounds that I've shown already, and this is one of those where I just do very poorly. I have an awful spray, I die instantly, and it really is just a bad round all in general. So I get one good kill, and when we're pushing long, I don't check pit. That's a really bad problem. But luckily, my teammate behind us does check pit and ends up killing the guy with the USP. It probably wouldn't have been a big deal because all he had was a USP, but it's still bad that you don't check pit. So we're pushing up long, normal, and what I try to do is I peek CT. I know it's 2 CT, and I decide, you know what? I can take them. I can't take them, so I run away. Now I'm just waiting for our team to come plant the bomb. And instead we're pushing, and I do nothing this round. This is a round where I do absolutely nothing. It's not a round that's necessarily awful, because we won, we clean sweeped them. It was a save versus a full buy. It wasn't that extraordinary. But I want to show that even when you're having a good game, there are still rounds where you're going to do either real bad or absolutely nothing. And when you're in game, you're fine with that because you're like, oh, well, I helped, I naded, I was being the support player that round. But in actuality, you just didn't do anything for your team. And I wanted to show that. Now, this goes straight into this next round, which I also have a point on, which is how even if you get some frags, you can have a real bad round. Most people think, oh, I got 2 frags, I did my job, we should have won the round. Which really isn't, at all how it works. It's a team game, it's a team effort. So, what we're going to show is we're pushing long, I'm shoulder peeking in case they have an op. And so we're pushing up. We wasted 3 smokes because we're smart, and we're golds. So we're shooting at one guy, some of our guys get killed from sight. All of us are just sort of doing whatever. None of us really have a plan. We finally plant the bomb. I get the luckiest headshot ever on an op, and then I take the op. So, in this round, we get an easy kill, and then we're going to see another kill from Catwalk. And this actually isn't the round that I wanted to show. But you know what? It's okay, because that was a round. Alright. Okay, so this is the next round that I want to show. It's the match point. It's the first round of match point. And we do a B take. I'm fairly certain that we do a B take. Now, that nade mid, it's useless. Does absolutely nothing. And this round, that sort of exemplifies this round. I do absolutely nothing and I'm awful. So I do our mid to B smoke through CT. It's really easy. This guy pushes through smoke like an idiot, and I just completely die. I miss my entire spray, and I just did nothing that round. So now I put us into a 4v5. Now it's a 4v4 because our guy got the guy through the wall. But that was a really poor decision. I knew there was a guy mid. I didn't peek correctly. I didn't spray correctly, and it just went awfully. Luckily, our one guy has an auto and is completely wrecking. But I just want to show rounds where, once again, you can win the round, or you can challenge, but you can do really bad. So what I'm going to do is switch to someone else's perspective because there's another point I want to make during this round. We're going to watch our auto sniper guy. He gets destroyed because he's not watching. That guy gets a kill, luckily. And now it's a 2-on-2. A 3-on-2, rather. So, that guy autoed, which is awful. We have sight, mind you. We have the bomb planted now. And yet we're still peeking. Now this should have been an easy round. 3v2, we have bomb sight. Neither of them are in bomb sight. But this is really good by the CTs. Both of them push at the exact same time. Lots of pug players, they don't communicate well and they don't push in together, and that can really lead to a loss. If you have if you are in a 2v2 and they're both in B site, if you from tunnel and your friend from window, if you both push at the same time, Any hesitation from the terrorist to choose to shoot one of you means that you are winning. You have a chance to kill one while the other one is confused, is dazed and confused. And that's something that the CTs did really well that round. We didn't have many retakes when we were on our CT side, so I couldn't really show you any of ours. But that was a very good round by the CTs, and that's why I wanted to bring that up. And I don't have a real comment on this round, but since we've already gone through about half of it because I forgot to pause, we're going to watch it and see what I can think of on the spot. So, as we can see, there's a guy lower, and our teammate doesn't even realize, and then he gets destroyed by him. Our auto sniper goes down. They have an auto sniper in B. And then I get 1-deed. And so now it's down to 1v4 in one of our match points. This is going to be our second match point loss, and when you lose on a match point, there's two different mentalities. There's the, oh god, we suck, somehow we're going to lose this game mentality. And there's the, whatever, we just need one more round mentality. This game, I was feeling, oh god, we're awful. Why can't we ever win? All I want to do is win. I need to rank up. Because during this game, I was Gold Nova 3. I had recently been unbanned. This is my first game of being unbanned from this account. And last time I got banned, I deranked. So I'm Gold Nova 3 during this. I'm now Gold Nova 4 after this game. But I was like, okay, I need to win a game. So I'm going to try super, super hard. And it goes alright. We end up winning. But that was the mentality here. It's like, oh god, we're awful. So we just do a straight A take. And get 1 kill. I didn't really deserve it because I missed my spray and I didn't even get the headshot. Now we see the auto. The auto takes out our teammate, and then as I'm about to get the headshot, he's gone, and then I'm sad. But it's a 3v2. We smoke off Cat even though our teammate's on CAC because I wasn't really paying much attention. Our guy Cat dies. It's 2v2. Our opera guy loves to peek, but luckily he actually knows how to peek. So he's watching Cat because we know the last guy's Cat. I'm spraying down Cat because we know the last guy's Cat. And now he's going CT. Because he knew that he wasn't really going to make much effort Cat. So, easy, peek, and we win the game. And that's GG. We get a chroma case for our efforts, we get a rank up for our efforts, and we come in second place. And that was that game. So, now, I'm going to go into a private server, and I'm going to show some things that I find important about that game. So I'm going to be showing some nades, I'm going to be showing some peaks, going to be showing crosshair placement, stuff like that. So I will return when I'm there. Alright, so I want to show the first thing is cat nades. So I'm on a private server. I have infinite ammo. So what you want to do, I missed my smoke horribly because it doesn't really matter. But you want to smoke mid so that you can get to cat easily. Now, you want to check here, here, and here, normally, when you're pushing up cat. If no one's there, then you're safe to do nades. The easiest nade is from right here. You just throw a flash. That flashes the entire site. It gives you a peek here, here, and here, which is really good because those are the most common spots. Now, I normally just buy one and then we push, but you can also buy two and then you can double flash it, which is always good. Fine and dandy. Now, if you have a smoke, you can also smoke off this wall, and it should, if you do it correctly, which I don't think I did. No. It wasn't bad. You can smoke CT with it. Now, I missed this little corner because I wasn't aiming that hard, but that's a good smoke for CT if you don't want to smoke cross. The most used flashes that I use when I push cat are the flashbang and the Molotov. Normally Molotovs aren't very useful, but there's always people who play behind this box, next to this box, and then Goose, but this doesn't affect Goose. But if you have a guy stuck sight, if you know there's a CT stuck sight, off this pizza sign, you can bounce either a Molotov or an HE grenade, and it will go straight onto site. It will cover the entire site, and they will need to find a place that's out of cover to make sure they don't burn to death. So that means they will either, if they're sitting here and they're in fire, they're like, oh, I'm in fire. They'll run to Goose, and you can try and shoot them like this, from back over there to this way. Or they'll move over here, and you have an easy peek. Also, then your guys from long have an easier shot if he's pushed up here. And then, this doesn't really pertain to the catwalk nades, but since I'm here, I'm going to show it. Lots of people play what we call gay corner, which is right there on an elevator. So, if you're a terrorist, and you're on site, and you know that there is a man in gay corner, normally you do this with a G grenade, but I have a Molotov. You bounce a Molotov, or a grenade, off that, go straight onto gay corner. Completely engulfs them in flames, completely blows them up. It's like a 70 damage nade, it's really insane. So, that's what I wanted to show there. And I will be back with my next point. Alright, so the next thing I wanted to show was opping on A site. There are many different spots that you can op from A site. In this video I was using Goose to op, I was pushed up Cat, and those are two of the spots that you can play with the op. You can play from here, you can even play just from down on this block, but it's not as good. You can play from back on here. This isn't very recommended because you're super exposed. You can play from back here, also very exposed. One of my favorite spots is you can play from up here, and if you get someone to boost you, then you can see all of catwalk from here. It's a really good spot. Lots of people don't instantly check it like they check other spots, so that's really good. You can opt from Goose, which is very simple, just like this. You can opt from here, because normally people opt from like right here, so they're going to pre-shoot this. But if you're crouched down like this, you can probably get the shot on them. I've done this quite a few times, it's worked quite a few times, it's really good. You can opt from back here, like this. You can opt from on top of this if you have your long completely covered. You can opt from here. You can opt from here. And I've even seen people opt from barrel, but I've never actually tried barrel in game because I'm normally being shot from long. But so those are some good op positions. Pushing up cat normally isn't recommended because if you get rushed by more than one person at a time, then you're screwed. But in this replay, I was doing that, and so I thought that this was an appropriate topic to talk about. Oh, you can also opt from back here on barrels. Boop, right here. So those are some op spots. So in 1 minute, I will be back with more points. That's all I have on that topic, though. So thanks. Alright, so the next point that I want to talk about, I don't really have any footage to show except for the footage from the actual round itself. But since I'm already in this private server, I'm just going to talk about it in here. When I was, as a CT, when I was pushed up cat, I had an M4. I was here. This is an off spot most of the time, unless you're very confident in your shot. One terrorist pushed me. He fell over. He had no head. Then, his friend waited. I reloaded. I had already reloaded. His friend waited. Then his friend pushed, so boom, 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 he's dead. And then, his third friend, as I went back to reload again with like 12 bullets left, his friend pushed around the corner as I was reloading. So he was like, okay, I know he's there. He's not peeking, he must be reloading. Like 2 bullets in my head, I was done. Now, reload times in this game, reloading and when you're not in cover are the 2 times when you are most vulnerable. You are more vulnerable when you're reloading than when you have absolutely no cover. If you're shooting, if you're here and there's a guy coming mid and you're shooting, you are more vulnerable when you're up here reloading than when you are over here with no cover just randomly shooting. And that's something that it takes a lot of time to get used to most of the time. I came from a background of shooters only including free shooters on Steam and Call of Duty. I'd never played a Counter-Strike game before. I had never played a game where cover really mattered. Probably the only game where cover really mattered that I had played was Blacklight Retribution. And that nothing can really prepare you for Counter-Strike except for previous iterations of Counter-Strike. So one of the hardest things for me to learn was that if you're reloading, you're gonna die. It's better to be out like right here, just randomly shooting at their spawn, than it is to be back here reloading. Because someone can Goomba you, someone can push from there, someone can push from there, or someone can just push up mid, or the second you peek you can die. And that's something that I need to work on, and that's a point that I think lots of newer players probably do not know. So, that is something I wanted to point out. The last point that I wanted to make apparent was the idea of composure. This game, in Counter-Strike, there are lots of high intensity situations where if you screw up, you're going to die. And there are lots of players who are like, oh, I'm never going to win, I'm never going to win. I'm like 3v1 pushing into a retake B site. And they just think, there's no way, and they spray, and they completely miss, and then they die. And they're like, well, there was nothing I could have done. There was a lot you could have done. You could have maintained your cool, you could have aimed, you could have controlled your spray better. But when you are not composed, you forget everything about spray control, everything about spray patterns. You pretty much forget anything except for, I need to hold down the button because I used to play Call of Duty. And that is something that every player needs to work on. That is something that even professional players, that's super important to them. Because if they aren't composed, they're going to miss their shot. If you're peeking a corner for 40 seconds and no one's pushing you, and then all of a sudden someone pushes you, but you like are daydreaming about unicorns, you're going to die. And that is something that happens in professional games a lot. Someone's just watching a corner, staring at a corner, waiting for their like pupils to explode. And then someone shows up and then you need to shoot them. And even at a lower level, you need to be aware that if you are unfocused and uncomposed, then there is no way you can win. So, focusing on the game, focusing on the task at hand, is better than thinking about what's going to happen next round. If I am a CT, and I am 2v1 pushing into B side retake, they have it planted, I'm pushing in tunnel. There's normally going to be a guy back site, or car. So back plat, you need to worry about him. If you're shooting one guy, never worry about another guy. If you're shooting the guy back site, and you think you're going to get pushed from car, shoot the guy back site first. That is also a very important thing. You need to maintain your focus on your target. And that is really the final note I had on that. But focusing on your actual target, focusing on your task at hand, and thinking ahead of what you can do next is really important. So, yeah. Alright guys, well, that was the first analyzing a game that I have done. I feel like watching my own replay actually helped me a lot, because there's a real difference between actually playing well and feeling like you're playing well. In that game that I showcased, I felt I was doing insanely well. It was my first game playing against decently ranked people, because I've been playing with silvers with all my friends who are silvers. I came in second, I was in first for most of the game, and it felt really good. But looking back on it, I made a lot of silly mistakes that if I was in an even higher ranked match, then I would have been completely demolished. So, I felt that that was very beneficial to me. I hope that some of the points that I brought up were beneficial to those of you watching, and just want to say thanks for watching. If you like the series, please post a comment or something saying it, or like the video. Really anything that you can do supports the channel and supports the creation of more videos. So, thanks for that, guys. And I will be back with another Analyze Games later, or maybe even another live commentary. If you would like to follow our Twitch was Bread Was Taken, twitch.tv/bread was taken. I will spell it out in just a chat. There's someone just offline. Yeah. Test, and then Bread Was Taken at twitch.tv. So, if you'd like to follow that, if we ever do actual live commentary games, they'll be used using OBS, which, if you record, automatically streams. So, if we just randomly go live, it's because we're playing and we're recording. And if you follow the Twitch, then you can see the game as it's happening rather than just watch the video. So, thanks for that, and I'll be back later. Thanks, guys.